Danite Radio.
Welcome to the Counter Revolution.
Dude, so I struggle so bad with fasting, dude. Like this last night I was like, all right, I'm gonna fast tomorrow for sure, you know. And then I opened a fast and got ready, and then woke up this morning, and by the time I talked myself out of fasting, it was like 10 o'clock. So I had a bowl of cereal. Then I get here to dinner at Mom and Dad's house, and I'm like starving because all I've had is that bowl of cereal. You should have just fasted.
You got halfway there.
About right.
That's how you start a podcast, folks.
We like that.
A hot take, a quick.
I know y'all think I'm perfect little member of the Church of Jesus
Well,
Christ.
he's
Latter-day
not.
Saints. But I can't even fast.
What up? I'm Shadow.
I'm Rocky.
And I'm Jace.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast this week.
Yeah. Exciting news. Got the Teespring store up, folks. So
Buy our merchandise.
search us out on Teespring or go to the Facebook page and follow that way, whatever. Those are a ton of work to do, by the way.
Turns out.
Yeah, that's a Saturday ruiner for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Glad you did it, not me.
It's all
No kidding. Oh, we should have made Jace do it. What were we
I
thinking?
do enjoy designing shirts, but man, it's brutal. And then you mess something up inevitably. You got to go back and start everything over.
Guess what he messed up?
So,
What?
He misspelled commies.
I did. I spelled it Commy. I was like about to click finish on loading it to Teespring and realized, are you kidding me?
The one thing
Then
you
I was
think
like,
you'd get, bro.
please let that be right. Like maybe it's right, you know? So I go Google it. Nah.
You knew it was wrong.
Nah,
You
you're
didn't
an
need to
idiot.
Google it. You knew.
It was dope. I know.
freak.
It was wishful thinking.
Killing it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Freaking it.
Yeah. Cut down a tree yesterday, Shadow.
Sure did. Do I have a story for you?
Brutal.
Is this about the old guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man. This is
I actually
gold
probably
mine.
have a couple, but we'll start with this one. So we cut up all the good sized stuff into firewood, just left it in the front yard, and we called Noah's mom to come down and get some. And I think somebody else is coming to haul the rest of it off. He put it on KSL free, so it'll be gone in a week, I'm sure. But his mom came down to pick it up, and she pulls up alongside us, and we're talking to her. We take a break, and we're chatting with her. And she's parked in front of the house, and this old man Noah says to her, "You can just back up here onto the lawn, and we'll load it up right there, so we don't have to walk as far." And this old man's like, "Yeah, that's perfect. Here, I'll do it for you." And she goes, "Okay." And she starts to get out of the car. He goes, "Hold my drink,"
Shut up.
and then gets in and backs her car on the
a
lawn
drunk
for her.
drink, like a booze drink?
No,
Oh.
it was just a Coke from 7-Eleven.
But he's like, this woman can't back up onto my lawn.
And she just got out of the car and was like, "Okay, yeah, do it."
love it.
It was dope.
I love it.
It's oppression right there.
He was all kinds of awesome, man.
What'd you say?
That was oppression.
A Prussian?
Yeah.
What's like a...
Oppression.
Oh, Prussian. I thought you said a Prussian.
Oppression. You
I'm
know
like-
from Prussia?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I think Prussia's been extinct for a while. Like, it's not even a
Prussians still
country
exist,
anymore.
Like it died in World War I, kind of extent.
I'm sure there's one out there somewhere. You got to find them. They're in a cave.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was dope.
That is dope. That's funny.
It was freaking dope.
Yeah, well, I like it, dude. He thought he was being a gentleman, bro.
Yeah.
Either that or he was like, this dumb lady will back over my sprinkler heads.
Well, she got out of the car and came and stood next to me. And I went, he was raised in an era where women don't drive.
She understands.
Yeah. And she
She
went,
gets it.
"I know."
She's probably like, I didn't want to back it up anyways.
I
That's
wanted
funny.
you guys to walk further.
No, that's funny, dude.
But, yeah, cut down a tree. Got paid a little bit, so that was dope.
Sweet. Oh, I forgot to look up that name. Jace, put into that Googler there.
Yeah.
Hunger strike. Uyghur. I don't know how you spell Uyghur. I don't know. Hunger strike. Chinese national. Maybe?
Tiananmen hunger strikes.
No. It's a current one. Can't remember what his name is.
There's a couple from 2019.
Gosh dang it. What is his name? Hurry, talk about something so I can figure it out. You folks will never guess what we're talking about today. That's for sure.
I'm not finding anything.
Element of surprise lost. He got like removed from Twitter, which is dope. Which makes you super happy to be, living in this country.
There was a bunch of Tiananmen Square hunger strikes in 2019, but that's all I can find.
Yeah, so there is a guy who is, I'm just looking for his name, but I can tell the story. He was hunger striking to bring awareness to, Majid Nawaz. And I'm not exactly, I think he's a Chinese Uyghur, which is a Muslim that lives in China. But either way, he's a Muslim fella. And he went on a hunger strike to get people to sign a petition to stop doing business with China, because China currently has some upwards of like 1.5 to 2 million Uyghurs in concentration camps right now. And they're actually like harvesting their organs, forcing the women to get abortions. Like it's brutal and terrifying. Like it's every 1900s dictator, all wrapped up into with a nice little Chinese twist, which they like to take things to the extreme.
To the next level.
Something about China and Japan. So I realize we talk a lot about 19th century communism and rarely talk about China. I had a high school history teacher that loved Russian history, and she kind of
Instilled that love.
Yeah, instilled that love in me. She actually went to Ukraine on her mission. She just, was extra passionate about the Russian history sections. But I realized we've got a communist regime that is equally as brutal as anything that happened in the 19th century. And it's right here, So I wanted to make sure we bring awareness to that, first of all. Look up Majid Nawaz. I think you can still sign his petitions, but I think they got enough signatures that he's not on a hunger strike anymore. That was the impression I got. But he's bringing, and he's being shut down. I mean, they're not talking about it in the media. I think Twitter stopped his account. But he's bringing attention to a real life genocide. That genocide that everyone's worried that Donald Trump's going to commit because he's just like Hitler. Yeah, that's actually happening in the world right now. In China, they're rounding people up, and there's Vice videos where they actually show guys like prisoners getting marched off to camps. They're Uyghurs getting marched to concentration camps where they are, again, harvesting their organs. I'm sure there's shootings behind chemical sheds, possibly 11-year-old boys getting shot for saying the wrong thing. I don't know, but wouldn't surprise me. And they're forcing abortions in the women. So all that being said, how ungrateful.
Wait,
Go
before
ahead.
you get into that,
Go
I
ahead.
want to throw this in here. When you're searching that on Google, you're looking into this guy, doing your research. It's Maajidnawaz. That's how you spell his name. And Uyghur is Uighur.
Yeah.
If you're doing research on this stuff, it was hard for me to find because the spelling is a nightmare. And
It's dope.
And I'm American, so I'm
It's
like,
like-
I'll spell it how I want.
It's like-
Weeger.
Muslim words translated from Chinese to English. Like, I wonder why we can't figure
it's a
those
mess
out.
for sure.
But so there's the spellings for you. If you want to look it up and do some research, I highly recommend it. Proceed.
So this is where it starts getting real unpopular.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
How ungrateful do the black people in this country look right now, dude? So let's just take all their numbers without context. I think it's like 235 black people get killed a year. Does that sound anywhere close to genocidal numbers?
No.
And then you add in, most of them were armed and attacking police. I mean, some weren't. Some were unarmed and weren't attacking police, sure. But most of them were. Most of them were committing crimes.
Yeah.
But there's a legit genocide going on across the world. And where do you how do you think that ends up, dude? Who do you think has to stop that genocide? You think Chinese are just going to stop it by themselves?
How many times has that happened?
Yeah, you think
the
this is
previous
not
century.
going to end in a hot war with China? Guaranteed. We're already heading that way anyways. They're already our number one competitor in the world. They're trying to start stuff with us. We're trying to start stuff with them.
We're headed that way.
Yeah.
You're correct.
So at minimum, a Cold War, which collapsed the Soviet Union. But
At maximum, a third World War.
a hot war that gets brutal. But we're burning down our own cities. Over 235 black men, most of them criminals. And don't get me wrong, I've gone off.
We've
I've
talked
gone
about
off
it.
on cops. I've gone off on cops. I'm with fire 60% of any police force. Please, by all means, I'm all about it. But it's not an issue in which you burn down your cities for, right? Especially when you live in this country where we haven't had a concentration camp since the 1940s. And it is an embarrassing time in our history, 100%. But how many of those people were starved to death or shot behind chemical sheds?
To my knowledge, I don't know if anywhere.
I don't know. I don't think so either.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Me neither.
That'd be worth some research, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
I do know that Utah's first mass shooting was at the concentration camp.
Really?
A private citizen went out there with a.
Perpetrated by a white guy on...
I don't know. I don't know what ethnicity he was, but he was a private citizen. He went out there with a semi-automatic rifle and just started shooting prisoners. But he was He was not affiliated with
not
the
affiliated
United
with
States
the
government.
state.
in
He
any
was
way.
just one crackpot, right?
Yeah.
Well, the crackpots are in charge in China.
Indeed.
And guess what? Vice does a piece on it. They interview people on the street about the Uyghurs. And a lot of them are just like, oh, well, they deserve it. They cause trouble. They don't want China to succeed like we want China to succeed.
Where have we heard that rhetoric before?
That is weird, isn't it? Are these bad people? No. They're just cowards and they're stupid.
Yeah. If that wasn't the most predominant
Yeah.
rhetoric of the
That's,
19th century,
I'm
I don't
sure
know
that's
what
what
was.
happened
Such and
in
such.
every case.
X ethnic group is bad
They're-
people. They don't want
Mm-hmm.
Germany to succeed. They
We're-
don't want Russia to succeed. They
we're
don't want the
just
Soviet
happy,
Union to be powerful.
Yeah, you're not down with the workers.
Sure.
We don't. They're just glad to not be the ones in camps, and they've been fed poison that these Uyghurs are everything that's wrong with our country. It's the same every time. Now look at at what I'm saying about Black Lives Matter, and look at what Black Lives Matter is saying about me. Black Lives Matter is a twisted organization trying to overthrow this country. And Black Lives Matter is saying about me, as a white man, that I'm everything wrong with this country.
Yeah.
I think that the organization itself is bad. Yes. Do I want them thrown in camps? No. No. I want them arrested for crimes? Sure. But I would imagine if you ask most of the members of Black Lives Matter, at least the leadership especially, what their plans are for all these white people when they get them thrown out, what do you think their answer would be? Yeah, to take the ones that just won't change and re-educate them, maybe? I bet that's what they'd say. Not to mention they want to destroy the family. You know, the family that any black person raised in a successful family is successful, and, you know, any black person raised in a, what do you call that? Nuclear family is successful, doing great, you know?
Yeah.
Not all weighed down by their victimhood.
Black Lives Matter, who's sworn to overthrow the nuclear family.
Mm-hmm. You know, the thing that holds society together. So, that's just what I wanted to get off my chest. I mean, and really, it reflects on all of us. How ungrateful do we look as a nation when we're burning our own cities down? And China's got people in concentration camps, and Africa has got kids starving because of COVID restrictions. And we're fighting over masks and burning our own cities down. Did you see that article, dude?
Which one?
Something like 10,000 African babies die a month because their parents can't grow food.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It is brutal.
Because in this country, we get these world-saving initiatives like global warming or COVID-19, and what do we do with them? We kill poor people. We stop poor countries from getting the technology that made us rich. Because we're dope like that. And if you think we don't deserve a hot war with China for the crap we've been doing, you know, black genocide as far as abortion goes, killing poor people around the world.
Potentially one of the most effective eugenics programs ever implemented.
Oh, for sure.
Ever.
Because
we volunteer for it.
Retarded world-saving policies, and you think we don't deserve a hot war with China? Sounds like we're probably going to get it. Our sons will be dying in far-off lands. Possibly in this land. I doubt they'd invade, but if they did, it'd be brutal. They might have to invade. About. Our country's not worth fighting if you just turn it to glass, you know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't get the return on their investment. All that money they've loaned us, you know. Scary things, folks. Scary things. And we just keep burning down our own cities.
Solves problems.
Because this country is the worst.
Let's, I don't know. If we haven't hammered it home good enough, and I think we were a little scattered on it, but I want to share this quote. I think about this a lot when it comes to communism or when it comes to fascism, whatever the dictatorship may present itself as. When I think of the loss of freedom, this comes to my mind often. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. You could replace that. First, they came for the Uyghurs, and I was not a Uyghur, so I did not speak out. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. That's 4 short steps before communism starts coming for us, or fascism starts coming for us, and there's no one left to speak for us. So this is us drawing that line in the sand. We're speaking for the Uyghurs, to the small base that we have.
Yep.
And to the
people,
to the extent that we can, we're speaking for the Uyghurs. They are being oppressed. That is actual oppression. They are being torn down and pulled from their homes. There's a genocide being committed against their people. their lives are being ruined and ripped apart, and their freedoms are being taken. And we're turning a blind eye so that we can burn our own cities down.
Yep. Where is anybody on it though, really, you know? I mean, the state was formed on the credo that never again, you know? Where's Israel on it, you know? That it's only Jews getting killed that they're worried about, or what?
Never again for us, not for them.
Maybe that's what it is. And maybe Israel looks at it like, oh, the only good Muslim is a dead one. I don't know, you know. I don't know how they feel about it, but it seems odd that you would be established on that credo and you wouldn't be acting on behalf of the Uyghurs. And maybe they are. You know, Mossad's a pretty sneaky organization. Maybe they are doing something about it, and I don't know. But there seems to be a lot of anti-genocide organizations that aren't really talking about this one, you know?
Yeah,
and
there's not a whole lot out there about it.
Not to mention freaking LeBron James, dude. I used to love that guy. But him coming down on Black Lives Matter and then just kissing the butt of China when they're freaking murdering these Uyghurs, and I get it, his money's involved, but do you have courage or not? Courage doesn't,
and not just a little money.
Yeah, sure.
Like $1 billion contract.
I don't care, man.
I know.
I don't care. And there's lots of companies doing it. And guess what? People always talk about IBM and Krupp working with the Nazis. Okay, National Basketball Association and Disney working with China. You're working with the new Nazis. Nothing, though? You're not going to say anything other than, oh, we're racist in this country? Are we? Are we the racist ones? Because it sure seems like China's pretty racist right now.
And don't forget about old Daryl Morey, the GM for the Houston Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Almost fired because he had a tweet live for...
Yep.
How long was it even up? 5 hours?
I don't know.
And he almost lost his job, and he said stand with Hong Kong because he supports a free Hong Kong.
Guess who's next? Guess who's next in line for the genocidal gulag if Hong Kong falls? The Hong Kong people. I mean, they're going to put the Cantonese people, Cantonese, right, in Hong Kong?
Sure.
The Cantonese people, they're next in line for those Chinese gulags, I assure you. They're probably already shipping them over there.
I'm sure.
Anyone that they catch, they're shipping to gulag, I'm sure. So what are we doing, NBA? We siding with the Nazis?
No, they're siding with the money. They don't care who it is.
I know. That's what IBM did in World War II.
It don't matter. The money talks.
I know. It talks every time. Talks every time.
And I get it, but don't rest on your laurels thinking you're so woke and, thinking you're an activist when
Yeah.
you're avoiding talking about actual oppression.
Go ahead. Kneel for that Pledge of Allegiance that, was written by a socialist anyways, so who cares? Go ahead and kneel for that. But why don't you fight real evil instead of the evil that Black Lives Matter made up for you? Because it's not true. Their narrative is completely false. And you guys kneel for our flag, but hey, China's good, They're good on Hong Kong. They're good on Uyghurs, apparently, according to my man LeBron James. If you weren't a super athlete, I'd beat you up.
I think it'd take 8 of you to beat that guy up.
8, dude. It'd take 12 at least. A dozen. A farmer's dozen.
And I'm not even discounting. You're a freak of nature, bro. But that guy is superhuman, dude.
No, I don't take it personally because I wouldn't be able to beat up LeBron James, I assure you. But guess what, LeBron? Being able to beat me up doesn't make you not a scumbag, bro. And that's what you've become in my eyes. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, LeBron James, other than not fighting real evil? You are in a position to change things in the NBA. A superstar for the NBA with more clout than anybody has probably ever had in the organization. And that's how much money is tied up in you, sir. and you could change things with the NBA's relationship with China and possibly change things within China. But you are a coward who's only in it for money. And nobody's buying your "I support Black Lives Matter" bullcrap, sir. Because if you were against real evil, you'd stand against China. You'd stand against China like the makers of South Park stand against China. You'd stand against China like the coach of the Houston Rockets stood against China for 5 hours. You'd stand against China like those people, those Cantonese people in Hong Kong, waving Trump flags. That's what you'd do if you were against evil. And you know who else you'd be like if you stood against evil? You want to hear it?
I already know what you're going to say.
Orange Man bad. Orange Man stands against China, folks. Throwing all kinds of cogs or wrenches in their cogs over in China. Making them divest from TikTok. You know, their spying apparatus in the United States. Making them...
that is now owned by...
Dude, and I wasn't for the
Microsoft.
trade
Soon to
war.
be.
I wasn't for
They
the
say.
trade war, but now looking back, it was an inevitability. If we were ever going to get out of bed with China, it was an inevitability. And he's the only one with the courage to do it. And you pieces of crap on him because he's been in politics for 3 years. All your little Democrat buddies that you vote for are the ones that destroyed it. And the Republicans, I'll give you that. Republicans haven't helped in any way. And he's been in for 3 years and you blaming all these problems on him? When all he's doing is trying to fix the crapshoot that the career politicians have given us? But thanks, LeBron, for pointing out Black Lives Matter bullcrap. You think we don't know that cops are jerks in this country? I got news for you. They're equal opportunity a-holes. Okay? A cop will be a jerk to anybody he wants to because he has a badge and a gun, and the badge says I can use this gun pretty much anytime I want.
And the labor union behind that badge says you can do it as well.
100%.
And the labor union behind it says the few times when you can't do it,
And
we'll fix it.
And
We'll be
we're
all right.
back to communism.
And the world runs round and around.
There you have it, folks. There you have it. LeBron James, you are a 6'9" athletic phenom coward. You could take anyone on the planet. You could probably step into the ring with John Jones and beat him up.
I don't know about that. John Jones is a pretty good athlete himself.
But, all right, you could step in the ring with John Jones and give him a run for his money.
I'll give you that one.
How about that?
I'll give you that.
But you're a coward, sir. You can't even stand up to a 5'0", Winnie the Pooh looking president of a country because you, sir, are a coward. Courage, in the words of Dennis Prager, is one of the rarest qualities in human nature. And LeBron, you don't got it, bro. You don't got it. You dominate the basketball court, but you're a coward, sir. You make me sick. And I don't want to boycott. I'm not calling for a boycott of LeBron. He's going to make money whether I boycott him or not. But I used to respect you, sir. I really did. You work your A off. You seem to be super nice to your fans. But you're a coward, sir. You're a coward. Respect gone. Respect gone. One of the few people on the planet that can actually influence change. Because this podcast here ain't doing it. I assure you. All it does is galvanize people, but you, sir, could change something, and you don't. You're a coward.
Indeed.
And I'd say it to your face, and then take the beatdown of a lifetime.
He throws beer at you at the palace, bro.
Yeah.
And then watch you beat up his neighbor.
He'd be running up the stairs and be like, "It was that guy. It was Shadow."
The punch heard around the world.
Dude, Ron Artest still love that guy, dude. He's so funny, bro.
You heard the story about him changing his name?
Yeah.
He gets asked, "Why'd you do that?" Because I was drunk.
Dude, I was so drunk, man.
I love Ron Artest, dude.
Man,
Hilarious. Meta World Peace.
that's the dude.
Have you seen him like do his things on TMZ
No.
Just like roast himself, dude. He doesn't care. He's so funny, dude. But my guess would be he doesn't stand against China either. But.
So how do you feel about Dennis Rodman then? It's not exactly China, but similar
He's besties
situation.
with Kim Jong-un, dude. He's one of the few Americans allowed into North Korea.
Regularly. Straight to the president.
He also was but to be fair, he was a big part of the reason that Donald Trump got that meeting with him last year,
Yeah,
or 2 years
That's
ago.
He's a
Ron
diplomat.
Artest was
as
the
they say.
diplomat for that. That's crazy.
No,
Dennis Rodman was the diplomat for that.
yeah, there's that. So I feel for that, for sure. But I never had the respect for Dennis Rodman that I had for LeBron James.
I'll give you that.
And I also heard that Dennis Rodman would, whenever he played in Boston, he'd like buy out toy stores and take them to the children's
Oh,
hospital.
I heard that too. He'd take it to whatever that was
everyone is a complex being. There are tons of great qualities that LeBron has, but at this moment in this time, LeBron is showing his cowardice. And assuming China doesn't own the U.S. in 20 years, he's going to look really bad in the history books for sure. He's going to look just like IBM and Krupp. But he might have enough money to, hire a publicist to fix all that stuff. But it may never ring true until we get to heaven. And God says, dude, I gave you so many gifts, bro. And you couldn't stand for my children.
You couldn't stand for the Uyghurs.
And then Jesus will forgive him. And I'm fine with that. But he should know now he's being a coward. Yeah.
If he doesn't know now, he'll know eventually.
Yep.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah. So
Might be too late.
I don't know. And the whole Dennis Rodman thing, I've always thought he was I was like 10 when the Dennis Rodman was on the Bulls, that whole
The era.
and it was like, oh, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and that guy with the crazy hair, and the
That
nose,
blonde hair
and
guy.
the nose piercings and crap, Oh, and he kicks cameramen in the junk and stuff. So it's slightly different, I guess.
you're there.
But to be fair, he's doing his part, possibly to influence change
Yeah.
in North Korea. He got Trump that meeting. I assume he probably knows about the camps in North Korea, probably knows about the whole we feed people to dogs here, I just he's turning a blind eye to it. He's getting celebrity there, so he's doing a lot of the same things LeBron is doing. But do you think LeBron would get Trump a meeting in China? I doubt
Doesn't
it.
look like it.
And if anyone could, probably LeBron.
Might be your boy Mitt. He's done some business in
Speaking
China.
of,
No, it wouldn't be Mitt. It'd be old
Folks.
John Huntsman.
Huntsman's in that too?
Huntsman was an ambassador to
Yeah,
China.
he's a
I
big
didn't
China
even know
guy.
that. I
He
knew.
did
I
a
just
lot of
knew Mitt
business
did
there.
a lot
I
of
think he
business
served
there.
his mission in Hong Kong or something.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Mitt, speaking of Mitt, on the Teespring, go get your one-of-a-kind Mitt Sucks t-shirts, folks.
They're beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
Get yours
Those ones
today.
are like- those ones are my favorite ones because you're just like, no pictures, no fancy word, just
Mitt Sucks.
Mitt sucks in Times New Roman.
100%. So, yeah, if you want to let everyone know how you feel about Mitt Romney, go get a Mitt Sucks t-shirt, folks.
There we go.
Also a great
Dan
gift
Night
for
Radio.
anybody whose birthday's coming up.
Down at Radio at Teespring. Search it.
We'll put a link in the YouTube description.
I
I've
did
got
send you
a-
that link, didn't I?
A little bit of a man crush on John Huntsman, so you have to tear him down for me.
You do?
Yeah,
Why?
he used to ride dirt bikes back when I was racing, and he had a dirt bike that was all built out for him, and his clutch cover on the dirt bike had the Utah State symbol engraved into it.
Oh, dope.
It's super cool.
That is actually pretty cool.
It was really cool.
I was pretty young when he was the governor. I know his dad does a lot of good work with cancer.
Yeah,
His
Huntsman
dad pretty
Cancer
much
research.
was a billionaire and pretty much gave it all away,
Yeah,
which
continually does.
is which is
Through all
which is
his-
awesome.
Is he
And-
still alive?
I think he's dead, but
I thought he died.
Did he die? He might
I
have
thought
died.
so.
But he's still got the foundation. There's still a John
Yeah,
Huntsman
yeah,
Foundation.
Huntsman Cancer Foundation.
And
And if you want to talk about
he died in 2018.
courage, that's a guy to talk about. John Huntsman Sr. was a pinnacle of courage. And I've heard stories about him that blow my mind.
Sure.
He was opening a new factory somewhere in the Middle East. I'm not positive where. And one of the corrupt government officials there told him, you can't open this factory unless you bribe the right people. And he said, I won't open that factory there. I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing loose with the law. My morals are too important to me, and my standards are too important to me. I'm not playing that game. And they estimate that he lost $30 billion closing that factory.
Dang, bro.
But he...
Good for him.
And it was halfway finished. Like, he was in the... that factory was going to be completed and make him a grundle of money, and he had invested a ton into it. And he shut it down and moved to somewhere else.
I think, I think it's Hungary. They love him there, dude. It's one of those Eastern European countries. They love him there. He opened like a factory there, like saved their entire economy and stuff. Like he's a, and as far as like John Huntsman Jr. goes, from what I hear of him, he's basically just Mitt Romney. You know, kind of a spoiled rich kid that decided, hey, I can try my hand at this. My daddy's got money, you know. And,
Yeah, he's got name recognition, so politics is all he needs.
Yeah, became a governor and, you know, did the same things that Herbert did, basically, which is weird that he was running. I've heard the theory that Huntsman was a vote splitter for, like, people would have really, they would have united behind Hughes if Huntsman hadn't run.
Oh, so it was kind of a,
Yeah,
if
so
not
kind of
me,
a
then no
Republican
one.
Party, like, hey, why don't you run too, you know? And we'll get Coxie in, who's going to be dope.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's the old... the
Lieutenant.
Kanye of their election.
Huntsman?
Huntsman was Kanye. There we go.
Everybody knows who he is, and he just takes votes.
Just can't write a rhyme, bro. That's the only difference.
Did Cox win the preliminary? He's the Republican candidate now,
Yeah, the caucus.
and he's running unopposed, basically.
I don't know.
I don't think the
other
Democrats put
up?
anybody up. I don't even think they held the primary.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, but kind of hard to run in this state against anyone, which is just as bad. You know, a monopoly on. I mean, the two-party system is the worst, but it's even worse when one party has a monopoly
Oh, yeah.
in one state. You know,
Because
then you get
there's
people,
no option. in
Yeah,
Utah.
then you get people like
what's going on.
Romney and Huntsman and Cox and Herbert. You know, they just pick who they want, and all these Republican Latter-day Saint sheep just go bah. Go ahead and buy if you want Cox in bah.
Oh.
They all buy.
The Democratic nominee is Chris Peterson. He's a professor of law at the University of Utah.
Dude, if he's one of those like pro-gun, anti-abortion Democrats, I'd vote for him for sure.
Let's do some research on him.
Dude, maybe I should run.
Do it.
For sure.
It's worth a
dude.
shot.
Just with that shirt, dude. Shadow wears a shirt of a photograph of him as a child, which is hilarious.
Okay, so this Chris
He was
guy
a
looks
super
like
cute
somebody
kid.
out of a North Face ad.
Oh, so he's handsome. That's good. That's
Semi. There's the
That's
picture.
one way to get my vote for sure.
There you go.
Oh,
He looks like he's thinking about
rugged.
something.
rugged.
He
rugged.
went on a hike once.
I'm thinking about something rugged, like log cabins and cedar chips. Cedar chips are rugged, right? I don't know.
And cigars.
Cigars, whiskey,
Bootleg whiskey.
bootleg whiskey. So yeah, I don't know. I don't mind if you like Huntsman. It don't bug me, bro.
I don't have a very good reason, so that works. Just
Well,
his dirt
I mean-
bike.
Got a cool motorcycle. Dope. Good enough for me. Suddenly I like Huntsman a little better.
There's a chance that he didn't even ride it. It was just built for him type of thing. But I remember that. I was racing in the Delta Center, actually, is where I saw it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Jace was actually like kind of legit.
Were you a legit racer, dude?
I was the third fastest
Dirt-
kid in Utah when I
dirt
was
bike.
5 years old.
Dang, bro.
Oh,
Third
yeah.
fastest in his age group, bro.
I was a monster. Me
Then
and
he
my
just-
purple dirt bike.
Then he just threw it all away
I got fat, had to retire.
away
yeah.
for some donuts. Some donuts and a pizza.
Some Chinese guy walked over and said, "You want a donut?" And I quit instantly.
And I was like, all right, deal.
Yeah, I mean,
Where do I
LeBron
sign?
quit, so why can't I? They got LeBron. Why can't they get me?
Took a lot less money to get
Oh
me.
yeah, speaking of China, you want to throw like $1 million all the way? I strongly consider changing my views.
We're talking to you, G.
Just kidding.
Talking to you, Winnie.
Yeah, can't have Winnie the Pooh in China because it looks like Xi
Jinping. Is that how
I
you
don't
say
even
it?
know his name. I just
Jinping.
yeah, I just call him Winnie.
Also, I think we've mentioned this in the podcast before, but go watch the South Park episode on China. It's
It's worth your time.
hilarious.
It's been a while since we talked about old China though.
I also saw.
I think the last episode was during the Hong Kong protests.
Oh, we have gone off on China. Oh, we wasted our time here.
No, we didn't.
No, it is a separate issue.
The-
Internment camps.
It's an interesting. I think it feeds to the conspiracy theory that the virus was on purpose, because if we have forgotten about that, we should not. In Hong Kong, they were protesting oppression for months on end. They were having riots. They were having protests. They were fighting for their freedoms that were being taken away by the Chinese government, because the Chinese government was attempting to extradite a Hong Kong national, which will take away Hong Kong's autonomy, is the word. Also, China just passed a national security bill last month that says that people who were involved in the protests last December, they're allowed to be arrested and prosecuted. And the first arrests have been made.
Which, in answer to that, Trump he signed a executive order that said anyone involved with the Communist Party in China can have their property taken from them and be arrested. So, I mean, that's anybody. If you are the NBA and you're found doing business with a company owned by the Communist Party in China, they can take anything they want from you. Will they? Will they be able to? Really? No. But that's a strong stance against
Chinese communism.
Yeah, against China. And I'm sure there will be action taken under that executive order, but it'll probably be after the election, would be my guess. And I don't think it'll be as high profile as like taking NBA stadiums, but
Well, there's also a chance that it won't be upheld by that time that somebody would take action, so you won't hear about it anyways.
what do you mean?
Like it'll be, I don't know the word.
Challenged in the Supreme Court or something? Well, I think
'Cause
he
they're
has
only
to
good
act
for
on it.
so
I think he has
long.
to act on it before the Supreme, and somebody has to sue to get it to go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but the executive order is only good for so long. I don't remember what the time is.
I don't think so. I think they stay, dude.
They're good until they're repealed.
Really?
Yeah, they're
That's my
they're
understanding.
in. Once they're there, dude. That's why the bureaucracies are so thick in this country, because they can just poof and then
Snap it.
yeah. Then it's there forever until somebody like, say, Trump gets in and starts cutting the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
But let me
And
be-
he's repealed a lot of Obama era executive orders, and that's kind of the only way to get rid of them is the new
Repeal.
president kind of has to be like, yeah, we're not doing
Yeah.
that. We're not doing that.
Let me be clear on Trump. Look, I'm not like
He's not deluded.
Yeah, no one can do no wrong in my eyes. Trump's done a lot of things I don't like, banning bump stocks, subsidized childcare. You know, he's done a lot of things I don't like, but he's done a lot more things that I do like, and a lot of things that are outside the box and not, wouldn't have ever been done by a career politician. He's done a lot of stuff like that,
And he is unafraid to stand up to powers
Yep.
foreign that do
And
not have
domestic.
our best interest.
and domestic.
Yeah,
He stands up to anyone, and everyone. I talked about this before, and it always comes up anytime I ask somebody why they hate Trump so bad, and they're always like, "Well, he just tweets all this unpresidential stuff." It's like, okay. Everyone's biggest complaint is that these freaking politicians just tell you what you want to hear, and then do whatever they want anyways. Trump doesn't do that. He freaking says whatever's on his mind at 2 a.m, sitting on the pot on Twitter. What
which
more
is
could
whack.
you want?
To be fair,
What
he
more?
says crazy
No.
stuff.
Have you guys heard
It's
that
perfect. What
little
more could
video
you
of him?
want?
He was talking to a reporter. It was the guy that started Barstool. I can't remember his name, but
Polvoy, Dan Pol.
yeah, Trump
Polnoy.
said something about regretting, or the guy asked him about regretting tweets. He goes, "Oh yeah, all the time." He says, he said something along the lines of, "I find that it's not the tweets that get you in trouble, but the retweets." Because he regularly retweets these things that turn out to be like legit from a white supremacist or whatever. It is hilarious.
Dude, how can you not love that, dude? He even says, "Do you ever regret tweets?" Oh yeah, I regret the crap out of those. But he still does it.
Well, he
What's
goes,
not to love?
back in the day, you used to just you'd be writing a letter, and then you just put it in your desk, and you reread it the next day. You're like, oh, I can't send that.
Yeah, you have a few hours to rewrite it.
But with those
That
tweets, you
send
put send,
button
and
is
it's
just-
out there.
Dude, that's so dope, dude. How can you not love that in a president, though, really? You know, all these stuffy a-holes like Bush and Obama, and I mean, Clinton wasn't quite as stuffy, but...
You definitely got a little excitement out of the Clinton presidency.
Yeah, but I mean, Trump, dude, like, come on. How is that not gold for you people? Like, how can you hate a man that's that honest, you know?
Dude.
Like, I don't know. I just can't help myself. I gotta freaking send these tweets out. I regret the crap out of them, but that send button's just there, you know? How do you not love that guy, man?
Dude, that picture you sent me of freaking Clinton the other day on
Oh.
Facebook.
Yeah, still.
Somebody photoshopped old Bill Clinton with... It was the picture of him in the Oval Office,
The painting
standing behind
that
the
they
desk, and he's got it's the painting, yeah, and he's got his hand down to the side, and you can just see the forehead and eyeballs. I think it's Monica Lewinsky.
Pushing her back under the desk.
Oh man. Oh, I got a joke for you, Rocky.
Yeah, that's it.
So since Trump's getting rid of TikTok, if you want to watch 16-year-olds dance, you'll have to get on a plane with Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
Brutal.
So dope. Dude, the freaking Clinton memes are coming back in
Oh, yeah.
force, dude. Oh, I heard
And
one.
I am
Gearing
here
up to
for
run
it.
again, I guess.
I heard one yesterday. Biden's VP pick is so close he can smell it. He can smell her. And I laughed, dude. I retweeted it. Some kid commented, I don't know if he wants me to use his name, so I won't, but he said, yeah, he's just got to taste her fingertips to confirm. It was so dope, dude. I was like, that's it. I'm done. Facebook over. Good night, folks.
I found the epitome of humor on Facebook, and it was that man.
Yeah,
that man's comment.
It was dope, dude. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully y'all lasted this long and got to hear us lighten up a
Got
little
the
bit.
gold. Yeah, for sure.
And get our thoughts composed and have a real conversation, because that first part was a little hard to get through, I think.
Was it? Sorry.
No.
Was I boring?
No, it's a hard subject matter to address, because China they're there. They're a part of everything we do in our life. They have got fingers in everything. Shoot, we're doing our podcast on a computer that was made in China, potentially with microphones that were made in China. I'm not positive, and I don't want to pick it up to check because I don't want y'all to hear that, but it is prevalent. It is a prevalent regime. They're a part of everything that we have and everything that we do in our lives, and it's a hard topic to talk about.
Do you know that former cop or former Mexican police officer that Joe Rogan interviews?
Yeah.
Ed, what's his name?
I don't remember. I heard some stories about that guy, though.
Who? What kind of stories? Good ones?
That he's fake.
He's fake?
Yeah.
Really?
That he has no real connection.
Dude. Why are
Calderon.
Why are you doing this to me,
Ed
bro?
Calderon.
Who told you that?
I read it on the internet somewhere.
So, anyways, that doesn't change anything that he said. It doesn't mean what I'm about to tell you is untrue, but he said he's talking about the drug war, but it goes for China too. We're all complicit. As far as, you know, we love our Walmart and we love keeping drugs illegal, you know. We're all complicit in this drug war. He said they use slave labor just as much in Mexico, as they do in China, and we're all just buying Chinese and Mexican goods, and you don't have to be a drug user to be complicit in the drug war, and especially since it's our laws that created the drug war. So I think it's impossible to get out right now, as of right now, to get out, to cut China out of your life completely. But we should all be conscious of this, and we should all be trying, and we should all be leaning in that direction. It's going to take a long time, but they use slave labor. That's the other thing about blacks in this country. Like, where are you on the slave labor in China? There are actual slaves in this world. And not to mention the human trafficking problem that that Operation Underground Railroad is bringing to light.
That is taking off right now. The past couple weeks, that has taken off.
For sure. But China is state-sponsored, OUR can't even get in to save those slaves because...
Well, and what do you think it is when you send a Uyghur to get their organs harvested in a Chinese gulag? That's human trafficking.
Sure. I'm sure they're using them as labor, too.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So... I wanted to bring this up because we need to be aware that China is an evil regime. We should stop shopping at Walmart until they, start buying goods from India. Or there are tons of third world countries we can get cheap goods from that are better, at least, on the human rights aspect. At least they're not throwing people in gulag,
And potentially you should just buy American made.
And they're on our side. India's been mostly an ally, Yeah, buy American made if at all possible. Because India could turn into China for sure. We could be so locked in with them that next thing we know, we've got a bunch of human rights violations that we're dealing with that we're all supporting because we're buying their goods. But
sure.
We need to be conscious of this as a people because it's like IBM doing business with the Nazis, except for it's our entire country doing business with the Nazis. So, there you have it, folks. Where are we at time-wise? Is it time to go?
51 minutes.
That's a pretty long one. So, yeah, and LeBron James is a coward, and
in case you can't tell, Rocky feels personally betrayed by that one.
I do.
That is a personal betrayal.
Because I really fell in love with the fella. And now I'm like... And you know how I'm not racist? Because I don't give him the benefit of the doubt because he's black. I hold him to the same moral standard I'd hold a white player, too. That's how you know I'm not racist. I loved the guy. He was a bit like an idol to me, even though I don't like basketball. But I like LeBron James. And this stuff with China, no, sorry, bro. You have to be held to the same standard as Shaquille O'Neal. Because I still like Shaquille O'Neal. But I just... When you start making excuses like, well, of course they riot, or how do you expect them to act? That's racist. I expect them to act like civilized people. That's how everyone in this country should act, because we live in the most civilized society to ever grace the face of this earth, except maybe... Who's the guy that got taken into heaven?
City of Enoch.
The City of Enoch. I'm so good with my doctrine.
I was like, what is he? I was like, what society is he going to name right now?
So, look, folks, hold black people to the same standard you'd hold white people, and then you won't be racist. Just saying.
I do have one little story for Rocky real quick.
Let's have it, bro.
So, NBA season resumed. Most teams are wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts and kneeling through the anthem. This one guy on the Orlando Magic stood and did not wear the Black Lives Matter shirt. The next day following that, he had the number 2 selling jersey through all the NBA.
What's his name again? I did hear that.
Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah.
He did just tear something in his knee in a game today, though. So
hey,
wish him the best.
Jonathan Isaac, you're my new LeBron James, bro. I love you, man. Thank you for having courage, bro. And you know what he said about it? look, man, Jesus is my guy. I don't kneel to anything.
No, you're talking about the wrong guy.
No, he said the same thing, though. He was very Jesus-oriented.
I thought he said, I just don't think this is the way to go about it.
He said something about Jesus, but I did hear about the baseball player that only kneels to Jesus, which that's dope, too. Well, and again, it's another race thing because that's a white guy, so no, he doesn't get any attention for it, but,
So the quote from Jonathan Isaac said that kneeling and wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt doesn't go hand in hand in supporting Black Lives Matter. Then he later added, Black lives are supported through the gospel.
Yeah, there it is. Black Lives, yeah. Folks, Black Lives Matter, their leader said, we're trained Marxists. You know what else are trained Marxists? Xi Jinping! That's whose side you're on when you're freaking supporting BLM.
Winnie the Ping.
But this is how they control the narrative. If you can't say Black Lives Matter, then you're a racist.
That is the beauty of a slogan-y platitude. That's the beauty of the name.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Because Black lives do matter.
It's ingenious.
That is... Oh.
Now, every stupid white liberal is like, well, I have to agree with them because I think Black Lives Matter. Because I don't need context. I just have to have Black Lives Matter. Because no lives can matter if Black Lives matter. If Black lives don't matter, guess what? No lives matter if Uyghur lives don't matter. And they're actually being genocided.
There's
let's just go with murdered.
1.5 million of them currently in the camps.
Oh, yeah. 1.5 million. I think I said 1.5 or 2, so.
Yeah. Well, and that was as of
I agree with me, Jace.
That was their last estimate. Sorry.
I'm just teasing you, dude. I'm just teasing you, bro.
And they have a name for what these are. What happens next? It's called a Great Purge. You saw it in Nazi Germany. We saw it in Soviet Russia. It happens all the time. Every time it starts with one group, and then they just start sending people. They're going to purge Hong Kong of all the revolutionaries. They're going to purge all their cities of every revolutionary. Everybody that could appear to be a revolutionary.
The Cantonese are next, folks.
We've seen it before.
100%. So, there you have it, folks. Let's stand against China, the real wicked in this world. The truly evil. The truly evil. We got some stuff we can change in this country? Sure. Anything worth burning it down, though, and destroying the economy? No. Not a thing. Not a thing.
Indeed. And prepare yourselves.
Yep.
Learn now some skills that will protect you when you get drafted and sent to a war with China.
Yeah. Heaven forbid. Good luck with that, guys.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
I'd
probably volunteer.
All you feminists out there, if you believe in equality, sign up for the draft.
Yeah.
I'll see you in China.
Sure. Yeah, let's go. See how they treat you when you get powed. Prisoner of war. So, yeah.
I think that's all.
Did we push it? Is it pushed pretty good? Did I make my feelings clear? Sometimes I struggle making my feelings clear. So.
Yeah, that's how I describe you.
I wasn't too soft on LeBron or anything.
No.
Oh, all right.
No.
What's the Magic player's name?
Jonathan Isaac.
Jonathan Isaac. I should make a T-shirt about him.
Jonathan Isaac, for what it's worth, we salute you.
You're the man, bro. For reals. Way to have real courage.
Sorry about your knee.
Yep.
Get better.
Sucks. I'd offer to help with your medical bills, but I think you're good.
Probably a little better than us.
Yeah. He's not paying for it out of pocket. It's insured. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Turns out China covers their insurance, so he's off his insurance. All right. Well, I guess he didn't really stand against China, though, did he?
No, he's not really.
No, he stood against Marxism. Jonathan Isaacs, I got a project for you. Educate people about the Uyghurs.
Yeah.
Try as we might, we can't do it.
Let's see what we can do about a Hong Kong tweet, shall we?
We still wanted to be in the NBA. We got to start small.
You're right.
We got to have one man on the inside.
For sure. Okay, folks. Look into China. It's bad news. Stop buying from Walmart.